Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks in here. Oh, we've been waiting so long for this, so long, that I actually had to go out and grab a Kickstarter version of the Ticwatch E just to give you something to look at. We have a video up on quick unboxing and setup for the E, but today we are going to unbox or uncan, oh that's uncanny, we're going to uncan the production units of the Ticwatch S in here, and oh yeah, the pretty cute little box of the Ticwatch E in here. Now by production units, I mean these are available for you to order directly from the vendors, not just through the Kickstarter program that offered these initially. And where do you get them? Right here. Geekbuying came through for us and sent us out the Ticwatch E and the Ticwatch S. And check out the price and check out the show notes because you can get an even deeper discount on this one. In addition to the E is the Ticwatch S. S is a little more money. It's a little bit different watch. We'll talk about that. In fact, why don't we talk about it right now? When you look at the specs on the Ticwatch S, you'll notice that it's got, pay attention now, the 1.2 gigahertz processor, does the Google Play and GPS with built-in GPS, handles the Google Assistant. Here's a spec, 4 gigabytes of ROM and 512 megabytes of RAM. Now by ROM they mean total watch storage, and a 300 milliamp hour battery. Okay, it has all that stuff just said there. And a 1.4 inch OLED round screen. Now 1.4 is rather small. We've seen that on the sample that we showed you earlier. It's not your great big 1.49, is it? AMOLED 400 by 400 screen we see on the regular watches, the Android watches. This is on the Ticwatch. And Bluetooth 4.1, Bluetooth functions, health tracker, and a special function for calling Uber. I don't know where they got this Tico from. It's not a taco, it's a Tico. But that's the hot word, I guess, to call Uber. We'll have to give it a try. Not that I want to ride, but just to see what's going on. Now, the Ticwatch S specs come in like this. It's running Android Wear 2.0. There's a repeat of a lot of this stuff, but check out the functions. Got them on the screen there. The connections with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. There's no SIM card on this one. You're going to do everything tethered to your phone. The a 1.4 inch is what the Androids are, right? 1.39 inch is what they call them, 400 by 400. So the size of this display is the same as what we see on the Android watches that are in the 400 by 400 pixels. Sorry about that mix-up. It's called the Ticwear. The app name is Ticwear. We'll talk about that. These are things that it supports, and it's got the 300 milliamp hour battery. Now I am going to test you. Oh, pay attention to these. I'm going to test you as we go through and look at the specs and information related to the E. We just looked at the S, which is the higher end one. Is the processor the same? Yeah, you betcha. Is the memory the same? Raise your hand. Okay, you got it all right. And the battery? Yep, same. Google Assistant? Yeah. Google Fit? Of course. Same 1.4 inch OLED, not the AMOLED. Same. You guys notice, same, right? Bluetooth functions, health tracker. You can even do your Tico thing and call yourself an Uber. So nothing's different here, obvious to the naked eye. However, if you put your clothes on your naked eye, you'll find that there's something different as you go through a little bit deeper. Here's the overall specs. Here's the connection type. Do you see anything different? Huh? Everything looks the same in the screen? Battery? Well, how come it's not mentioning GPS? GPS is different between these two. The GPS built into the Ticwatch E is inside the watch, which means the bands are removable. Inside the Ticwatch S, the antennas at least, and maybe the whole module, is in the band. So the bands are not removable, just like your regular Android watches. That is one of the big differences between these, in addition to the price. So here's how it works today. Got them both here. I'm going to do a dual unboxing. We just did a dual look at their specs and features. We're going to unbox each of them, the production units. I know we already unboxed this one, but that was like, the Kickstarter thing. We're going to see if it's any different. Still got the Good Design Award thing going on, which is great. And that one's 2016 and this of 2017. We're going to unbox them. We're going to then take a look at getting them set up and usable, which was a little bit tricky. You got to make sure you tether them to the Android Wear app first and the Ticware app second. And then we'll run through what they look like as stock watches, okay? And we'll do separate videos on that. So the joint video, you're going to see the same on both, happens right now. The unboxing. Let's start with the E. And open the can. Oh, look at that. It's sealed. Okay. We got to slice the seal. Get into it. Oh, yeah. This is that fancy green one everybody wanted to see. We've seen black, we've seen white, but green, So, same thing. It lifts the lid, and then it's in here, wrapped around a little rubber protector that you need to take out, set aside, and bring out the watch. Now there is a fashion statement indeed. Wow, that is glowing fluorescent green. I can take off the screen protector. I'll place it back here and set it down as we go through the box. Now, inside the box, check it out. There's like a compartment here with a hole in it and a little box separator thing. That was just like the other one, but the stuff seems to be down in here. There's the charging cable. There's the desiccant little pack, and here, oh, that's it. Okay, then way, oh, there goes the lid. Way down there, you can see underneath all of this fancy packaging is the manual. Yeah, and the manual's in multiple languages, and we already looked through the manual on the other videos, so I'm going to refer you back to that one if you want to see the manual on the E. Ha! Okay, that's everything that's in the can. Again, this is also removable, so you got yourself a nice little can to put in your garage and put your nails and screws in, or however you want to use it. A cute Ticwatch special can. That, folks, is the Ticwatch E. Now, clear the field and bring over, looks like it's sealed also, the Ticwatch S. Because some of you guys may be thinking, I'm not sure if I want to spend the extra money for the S. I'm not sure if I want it. Whoa, that's dressy. Look at that, green highlight. Hey, they complement each other. Look, isn't that nice? Same thing, I think. It should open up. Yep, it does. Put in here the same way, but somehow the band feels bigger on this. Let's do it this way. Wow, it's a sturdy band, thick thing. Set that aside. Look at that. That is bigger than this. That's the one that comes with the E. That's the one with the S. Little subtleties here. Pull it out. Check it out. Okay, we can take the cover off. There's the button over here. This has got a button on the side as well. Yeah. This has got, a glowing plastic case around it. It really looks like it's made in plastic. And it is. I get the screen's glass, but pretty much everything else is plastic. This one, if it's plastic, and it seems to be, it doesn't look it. Okay. Button, the charging ports that look identical. Oh, I don't know. Are those a little bit wider than that? What do you guys think? Well, we'll have to check and see the cables are the same. You could use them between the two. The diodes for your heart rate. The removable band connectors here and the non-removable bands here because the GPS is in the band. Now, the claim I've heard is that the GPS is going to be stronger and more accurate with the S than it is with the E. That's something we're going to have to validate somehow, and if you guys are doing any kind of testing, please report down in the comments here so we can check that out. In the meantime, there you go for the watch. Inside the box, it looks like it's basically the same thing. Over here, charging cable, which I'm going to keep with this one till we look at both of them. The desiccant, and we have to pull out the innards of the box without destroying them. They get caught on the edges here. I really don't know why all of this, but it's there. It's a fancy design. And then, of course, there's the Ticwatch manual for the S, which in multiple languages I will quickly go through and show you because we don't have this on screen. So you can bring up the two YouTubes side by side in your split screen fancy phone or TV and look at them page by page, comparing the manuals of the two to see if there are any differences. I'll do that too on the side, and if there are any, I'll mention them in the show notes down below. We'll also try to get a better handle on the differences between the two, if it's just GPS and non-removable bands, or if there's other aspects that are different. And if we find some of that stuff out, if you know, please leave the comments in the show notes, and we'll combine what you've said, what I find out, and we'll put all that stuff in the show notes, which is just under the video when you're looking at it on a computer, and you'll be able to kind of compare the two together. Okay, that's the manual there. So now we got it. We've got the two watches. The next trick is to try to get these things to turn on, because I don't know if there's a charge or not. I'm going to press the button, and I know I have them upside down because they're supposed to be on. The buttons are on your left side when you're wearing it on your left arm. Come on, you guys. And when they first boot up, as you can see with the fancy colorful screens going on, they're going to come to a point where they want you to connect to the phone. And let me go into that for just a second. As you know, if you've followed Android watches, if you want to tether to your phone, you have to run a special app. That app interfaces your Android phone to the guts of your phone, like your notifications and your SMS and calling if it can support it. And that tethering app provides the link from your phone through the app over Bluetooth to your watch, whether it's an Android watch or a pure tethering watch, okay? Well, in a sense, the Android Wear app is the same thing. It's the special tethering app that you have to put in your phone for any Android Wear watch that will allow you, oh, look at that, I went right into it. This one, you have to tap to begin in order to tether it. Okay, they're different in that regard. English United States, let's take that one. And agree to the end license agreement. On your phone, download Android Wear. Okay, now this is where we get to the same thing when we do it here. You tap to begin, and oh, right. We're still going to have to tether. It's just that they're showing them to you in a different order, or this one had that tap to begin thing. I'm scrolling through so you guys can check the languages to see if they're the same on both watches. I know there's so much to these reviews. I know you guys want me to cut them back, but somebody wants to know, will it work in India? Does it have French? You know, all those kind of things come up. English, United States, check. And now this one is wanting to tether. So they have their own unique number that you have to look for on the phone after you run Android Wear in order to get them to tether. And that means we can't go any further until we do that. All right, let's answer that other burning question. Here is the charger that came with the Ticwatch E. Looks like that. And it slaps on the button side like that. And it sits right there. Ticwatch E. Here is the charger that comes with the Ticwatch S. And it looks like that. And it slaps on just like that. Are they the same or are they different? How many think the same? Wow, everybody? How many think different? Just me, huh? No, I didn't think they were different. Look at that. They are exactly the same. So you can buy the charger for either the E or the S and use it interchangeably between watches. Now let's get them tethered. Now at this point, this is all going to be about the Ticwatch S. And before we get started, I put this in and charged it last night, and look what it's got on the screen. I guess this is for merchants that are going to put it on the shelf for people to play with. You can lock it in a retail mode. Well, we certainly don't want to do that. So let's exit out of here, and we're back to the screen where we can try to tether it. Now, as I mentioned in the Ticwatch E review, you need two apps, Android Wear and Ticwatch. And then this one is like a store. It's an Android Wear store. And just a quick look at that. This is where you can go in and select among a variety of different apps that are Android Wear apps that you can then download to your watch. Any of these apps, games, watch faces, and so forth. And almost 5,300 of them in here at this point. Okay. Let's go first into Android Wear. Again, this is like a tethering app that you would use in an Android watch, like the YY Wear one or a Fundu Wear, or one of those kind you're familiar with. Well, for Ticwatches, it's the Wear app, and we're there. Now, right now, I have it connected to the Ticwatch E because we just finished the E review. This is the Ticwatch S, so the first thing I want to do is add a new watch. And it's going to look for them. Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, I don't see my watch. Okay, let's recycle it. There it is, the S. I'm going to select it. It's going to try and connect. It says a prompt will to connect will appear on this phone. Now, judging by my experience before, as we've talked about, oh, wait a minute, this time we got it. You see, we get this screen, which normally flashes and disappears. Wow, well, now you got to see what it's supposed to look like. On the other watches, I had to go outside away from everything and try this all over again, which I couldn't film for you. It did it this time just like it's supposed to be. That simple. Your watch shows up, you select it, and it connects. Now it's going to go through and get details about the watch, bring them into the phone, and then we're going to do another little dance back and forth until we're really ready to go. Well, we're finally connected, folks. It took a little bit of work. I actually had to stop and redo the app and try it again, but third time's the charm, and it's fully connected now, the Ticwatch S, and just like in the other ones, oh wow, look, I've actually been holding it and walking around with it. I've got some active time. That's nice. You got to see that. That's for the health program. When you go into the actual Ticwatch S, you have the same information as we've seen before, where you can turn these on and off, your Google accounts that you can sync to your watch, the story about the watch battery, what apps you've been using and how much, and your expected life that you have at the same rate of usage and what your current battery power is. You have the watch storage, and here's where you could compare with the video we did with the Ticwatch E. These are the apps that are in the Ticwatch S that come stock, because this has not been changed basically right out of the box. We'll run through these quickly for you. A lot of these are Android specific, I'm sure, Android Wear specific, but you can see there's some apps in there as well. And then you've also got the watch apps and their amount of storage. And not too many of them, but those are the basic ones that are in there so far. That's your Ticwatch S that you can completely disconnect right here, resync or unpair right there. Exact same thing as the Ticwatch E, all here in the Wear app. Okay, let's take a look at the watch now. When you first start it, it talks about swiping up to get started into a tutorial. And this little tutorial is going to cover some stuff. We're going to go through it quickly. Sample notifications look like this. Time to take a walk. Oh no, I thought I got a kudo, but it's telling me I need to get up and go. Okay. Here's an app that's actually running on the phone, not the watch. I recognize that one. There's a push of a picture. Oh, there's somebody else posting to the #1 blog over on Smartwatch Ticks. There's some updates that are available on the watch that need to be addressed. And memory usage is heavy. That's over on the phone. It'd be nice if you could tell the difference on all of those. Then you can clear it. So as it's trying to tell us, notifications appear below the watch. Tapping them opens the app's messages and more. Simple as that. Swipe right to exit. And we're out of here. Back to a brightness screen where we can adjust the overall brightness. Press power button to get back to the watch face, like so. And press again to see more of your apps. And these are all the installed apps that come with the Ticwatch S. Yeah. And you can move any of them to the top by pressing and holding, or simply going into them. I found that when you actually go in and turn them on, they'll show up at the top. Otherwise, it's alphabetical. The first 3 are usually your most recent ones. And I guess that's pretty much it from the tutorial. When you swipe down, you get to this screen where you can silent or have volume. You can adjust the brightness. We saw that. You can go into do not disturb mode, enabled or disabled. And you can go into your overall settings. The settings cover such things as display, where you can change the watch face, the adjust brightness you just saw, your overall font size. You can make them large if you want a little bit easier to see. And you can have the always on screen or not. When that's turned off, when the watch face goes off, instead of seeing it black and white, you'll see nothing. It'll be black completely. Your sound and notifications happens here, where you can adjust your media volume as loud as you would like. Same thing for alarm volume. These are tricky. There you go. And your ringtone volume. You hearing all that? Okay, good. Also vibrate for calls, and you can change the ringtones. Notification previews can be normal, high, meaning it'll always show them, or you can turn them off and never show. And normal is, it shows it for 5 seconds. If it's always on, you're going to just see them, I guess, until you dismiss them. You can override your do not disturb with calls from favorites. That's pretty cool. You can have this thing in a night mode, do not disturb, but if you get a call from a relative or something, you can have it override. Same thing for reminders, events, and alarms. Alarms are always on. And then you have an option to change your vibration pattern for the watch as well. All that in there. Apps. There are some systems apps which are listed in here. And I'm not going to go into these because we don't want to mess around with these. They're probably related to the system. I'm not even sure why we have access to them. Here's Fit and Fitness and Flashlight. Google handwriting analysis, or not analysis, but interpretation, and much, much more. Yeah, these are the ones that come stock with it. Ticwatch system, translation, wrist gestures, tutorial, and all that. When you add your own Android Wear apps, they'll show in there as well. Your gestures to tilt to wake and wrist gestures you can turn on. You have the launch tutorial we were watching that showed us how to navigate through here, and then a little thing that shows you some more tips. That is actually launching it on the phone. Pretty cool. Took us into a browser, and it tells you how to navigate with those wrist gestures that we just turned on. Things you can do with them. More tips. We'll let you explore this on your own. I'll try to put a link to the to all of this stuff in the show notes for you as well. Okay. Oh, wow, look at this. There's a new update available. Uh-oh, where did it go? It said tap to install. I bet it's going to be back here Yeah, in the notifications. Should we install it? All right, I'll do that and we'll be right back. Going to restart and I guess install it after it shuts down. See you on the other side. Okay, then that was it's updated as far as I know. It looks like Google Play services or something, and that was more tips that we were looking at under gestures. Moving on to connectivity. Here's your Bluetooth connection. Shows you that we're connected to the phone, and a few more things. Oh, look at this. You can play the phone voice call on the watch. So if you turn that on, your phone will relay its voice phone calls over to the watch, and you can do the Dick Tracy thing and talk to your arm and listen with your arm up to your ear and all that. But you have the option of turning it off. If it's off, it's not going to enable that, and you'll be answering your calls directly on the phone like you always have. So that's something you can consider doing. Let's go ahead and turn it on. And now that feature is locked in there. And it just set all of that stuff up for us automatically. Then you have Wi-Fi. And you definitely want to try to turn Wi-Fi on so you have that connectivity. Once you put in your information and your setup, you'll be in your Wi-Fi network. You have airplane mode and location services, which we have turned on here from the phone and the watch. This has Bluetooth in it, so it's going to pull the location information from whichever source is easiest. If it can get it over Bluetooth from your phone, it'll do that. Otherwise, it'll use the module inside the bands of the watch. Remember, they're not removable on the Ticwatch S. Okay, accessibility. Now here's some fun stuff. This magnification gestures, we showed you that on some of the Android watches. When you turn that on, you can do a triple tap zoom, meaning 3 taps and hold it, and you can zoom the display and roam all around. Great for when you're looking at something with very small writing or want to examine a picture close up. You have text-to-speech output, which allows you to change voices if you want to, and you can listen to it. You have ability to change the speech rate, although the rate is like big differences in how fast it speaks. Here it is at normal speed.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
And that's using US English. And of course, when you go into languages, you have the ability to change to all sorts of different languages. The default is to use the language that is set up for your phone, and that way most of you never even have to go in here. But if you do go in here, you see you have a lot of different ones you can choose from, and it can be different than what your phone is set to. That's all in the text-to-speech output. Talk back, it's experimental. This is for the ability to have what's on your display read to you. So if you're in the bright sunlight, or if you're blind or hard of seeing, that could be a real benefit. Again, it's an experimental thing. And then turning this on allows the power button to end a phone call if you're talking, so you don't have to hunt around and get in there to hang up or grab your phone to do it. Then you get into personalization. This is where you can change your different input methods. You have Google handwriting input, where you can write your letters on the screen, or the Google keyboard, but you can probably install other Android Wear keyboards on here as well. And you can manage your keyboards. You have the different accounts. That's your Google accounts. You have a smart reply so that you can quickly reply to text messages. You can turn on the keyword detection for the Google system simply by turning that on, but I'm sure you're going to have a hit on your battery usage, something that we'll have to wait and see what folks say in the show notes and elsewhere about how long the battery life exists on this watch, especially if you turn that Google thing on. Then you have your device administrators that you can get into. We're getting into some technical stuff here. And a screen lock that if you want to put in a pattern, a PIN, or a password, you can do that and lock your watch up just like you'd lock your phone up. And finally, system. System date and time is set for you right here automatically, or you can go in and adjust the time zones on your own. You can disconnect and reset here, which will wipe out everything. You can restart the phone. You can power down. You saw that in our first video on the Ticwatch E, that if you are going to set this aside for a while, this is a great way to just go and power it off so you're not draining power in the background with the Bluetooth and other things. And finally, about, it's a Ticwatch S, the device name, serial number, build number, connection, battery, system updates. We can check and see if we have any. And it currently says the system is up to date. Should be. We just did an update. And that is everything in system and settings. And that we got to remember by swiping down here. It's right over there. Swiping up got us to our notifications. Swiping this way or the other way will take you into the watch faces, so you can move between the installed watch faces, or you can add additional ones simply by pressing here. These are the ones offered by the Android Wear app that you could see on the phone. You could select any of these to add to your watch if you'd like, just by tapping it. To remove the favorite, swipe away. It means up or down. Select it, and there it is. My big red circles show that I haven't done any exercise at all yet today. Swipe to the right, same thing. I get into all these different selections of watch faces. And there's way more watch faces. We could do a whole thing. In fact, we have done a whole thing on even designing your own watch faces for the Ticwatch 2 using Watchmaker. And that exact same technique and those watch faces will work on the Ticwatch E and the Ticwatch S. So you're able to do that. So the only thing, two things we haven't covered are the side button. When you press it, let's just go back here. When you press it quickly once, you go into your apps. And when you press and hold, you go into your assistant where you can speak and request it to do whatever you'd like to do. So when we come here, you notice that settings is now on the top because I used it. Then it goes into the alphabetical list of all of your installed apps. Your contacts can be pulled from the Google account that you've set it up with. You have a Find My Phone capability. Then you have the Google Fit, Fit Workout, and Fitness. Come back to those. Flashlight just brings you into a really bright white screen that you can tap to turn on and off. Easy to demo that one. Health is where you get into a display of all of the activity that you've done for the day, your basic step count, exercise minutes, activity hours. And this is the one that's prompting you gently to get up and do stuff, rewards you when you've been active each hour of the day, and so forth. That when you come out of it, it starts you back up at the top here. See, health is down there, then you got to scroll back down again. We were at the H. Heart rate is where you'll take your heart rate using the built-in sensor. Wow, I went out of it just by touching it. Okay. I shouldn't move it around like that. Your phone, if you're going to make phone calls, right there. Your Google Play Store, we'll take a look at it in a minute. You can set up reminders. There's the overall settings, which are way up at the top, and there it is alphabetical. Step ranking, and I'm not sure what that does. I couldn't quite figure it out. Maybe it pits you against others and shows you your rank for the day, or maybe you against yourself. A built-in stopwatch and timer. The Google Translate, so you can use it to translate to different languages. The overall weather app, and your Google feed as you set up whatever things you'd like in the cards that you want to see from your Google account. That's the stock stuff in here. So, coming back to the Play Store, when you enter this one, it's the Google Play Store, but it's a slightly different iteration of it in that it's contoured specifically toward, one, Android Wear, and two, toward this particular device. You're agreeing to the terms of service first time we've been in it. And when you get in here, you see you've got different categories of apps. and complications, which are the things you can put on your watch faces to show the weather or the phase of the moon or whatever, games. And then there's the apps on your phone. Now, things like this one, Be Safe, that was an Android Wear-ish app that was interfaced with the Ticwatch 2. But I've tried it on here and it doesn't work. It's one of those things that brings up a button and you can press and make a call or send your location using a text message. There's a few other things that are on the phone right now that could be downloaded over here just simply by tapping the download button, and you can install them on the watch. And some of these are the ones that I've been using and playing with. In a different video, we'll go into some of these and we'll show some of the Android Wear watch applications that I'm familiar with and that you might want to install on your own. In the meantime, this just shows you what is available on your watch already that you could simply download directly. I'm sorry, it's on your phone directly that you could download onto your watch. And that's all in the Play Store. So what's left is all this fitness stuff. There's two different categories, Google Fit and fitness. Let's cover fitness because that's an easier one. Sensory data, boom. Okay, we've gone through the whole setup, and now you have these, and you see these pictures look similar to what we see on the Android watches. You can do, with GPS, an outdoor run or an outdoor walk. Without GPS, an indoor run. Cycling invokes GPS. Freestyle does not have GPS. So any of those that you want, you select it, and then it wants you to remain stationary while it attempts to get the GPS location, which it could be doing via Bluetooth from your phone, or it could be doing it using the GPS module inside the watch. I presume it tries first to get it from the phone so it saves power. When it's got it, it turns green. You can click here and get yourself ready. You can set a goal if you want to. It says no goal. You see these little dots here. Oh, there it's going to go ahead and launch. So now we're off cycling. Got 3 dots, which means I can change screens. There's your pace, your miles, your warm-up heart rate, it says, calories burned, miles per hour, and so forth. So that's happening here. You swipe to the right, you can stop it, and you can get out of it. And it's the same way on all of these. They operate very much the same way. And the information that you get in the fitness appears to be on the watch. It doesn't transfer to that TicWear app that you saw on the phone. That was just for your day-to-day steps and whatnot. Wow. I got to talk faster. Okay. Back in here. Okay. So the health or the fitness area is different in what you can do, but you get an idea of the capabilities there. Plus, you see a little track of where you've been, but you don't see the full Google Maps or anything. Now, Google Fit is a whole different type of a fitness thing. It coaches you for goals and so forth. And when you set this thing all up, like to take 8,000 steps a day and start it. You can do walking, running, treadmill, biking. All these things are your initial app or things that you could do. And when you hit other, you get into a whole bunch of other stuff. Start. Oh, I don't know. Okay, it's just going to go ahead and start an other, whatever an other is. It's showing you time and heart rate. And pause. Nothing else there. So that was limited. Pause the workout, end the workout. And there's basic information on here. I hope you like my roosters out there. It's a nice sunny day here. Fit workout is a different category still, where you have walking, running, and all of these things again. Push-up challenges, so forth. We could do a walking, starting it, acquired the GPS you saw right there real quick. And now you're getting your time, your miles, and your pace, or your distance, or time per mile, and some more information. Of course, it needs to be moving in order to get this information, but you have it there. Pause, end, and so forth. So, really quick overview, but that's the fitness category. And of course, Google Fit can automatically sync to the cloud over to your phone, over to your tablet, over to your computer, over to your trainer, over to your coach. All of that's available through the Google Fit. Okay, wow, we've covered a lot today. Well, the last thing we want to cover is the side button and how you can use it for voice input. We activate the watch, press and hold. What can you do? Very fast recognition when you're speaking to it. And these are some of the things you can cover with that side button. You can send text, you can do a WhatsApp message, you can get directions, all sorts of things that interact with the apps that you already have on your Ticwatch. You got the fitness capability, what's your step count, your heart rate. Oh my goodness, lots of things. See more that you can do. You can customize it on your phone, and you have the overall settings. Let's see a few more things. Now, it's actually bringing that up on the phone. Set timers, get weather, make calls, set alarms, find answers, on and on and on. And you know what I like to use it for is actually launching apps. So, when I'm parking the car and getting ready to get out, I press and hold and say, open flashlight. And in just a moment, I've got a nice bright light that I can shine, put away my keys, do everything I want. I touch it and it goes out. Well, we already showed you this, but it's just like really convenient to activate it with your voice. Really amazing watch, this Ticwatch S. It's got the GPS built into the band, so you're supposedly going to get better location information. Looks a lot more like a traditional watch and a little bit more dressy, if you will, than the appearance of the Ticwatch E. But other than that, it's basically the same watch. And it is available right now with a really good price from Geekbuying. Check the show notes down below and head on over. I think you'll be really happy with whatever Ticwatch you get. This is the Ticwatch S. You've been watching Smartwatch Ticks, and we'll see you again soon.